this morning. So, we have worked our way through Genesis this summer. And now we are finally taking that step from Genesis into the second book of the Bible, into Exodus. And so our reading this morning, or our dramatic presentation, is actually from the first chapter of Exodus, verses 8 through the second chapter, verse 10. So I'm going to be the narrator this morning, but I need a king or a pharaoh. Who would like to be king of all of Egypt, or pharaoh? Ginny, I see you going like this. Do you want to be the king? No. No? All right. But you have a nice loud voice. Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's no gender biases here. Girls can be the kings. I'm the narrator. So who would like to be the king? Anyone? Or the pharaoh? David will? All right. Or Shirley volunteered? Now I have all these choices. I don't know.
Oh, you can pick somebody else.
All right. Well, David was volunteered, so Shirley, I have another part for you, though. All right, David, you come up here. You're going to be my king. I have your parts highlighted here, so all you have to do is read your parts, okay? So if you'll just go right up there, that'd be great. All right, now I need a couple of midwives. Some midwives. Rita, you want to be a midwife? All right, who'd like to be a midwife with Rita? You don't only have one line, so you don't have a whole lot. Miranda, you want to be a midwife? No? All right. Rita, there's your part. Carol, how about you? No? Emma, you were a midwife before. Would you be a midwife with Rita, please? All right. Now I have Moses' sister, Miriam. So Miranda, that's a good part for you. So you can be the sister. You only have one line, okay? So you go up there. And then I need the Pharaoh's daughter, who always wanted to be a princess. Shirley. All right, you can be my. Oh, Miranda, you wanted to be the princess? Sorry. You get to be Moses' daughter, okay? All right, Shirley. Where's this king's daughter? All right, so you don't come until the girl age, all right? All right. All right, so everybody got their parts now. We're good. Thank you all for helping. Okay, so we're in the book of Exodus, like I said. Last time we were here, we were talking about who? His name starts with a J. Had a coat of many colors. Joseph, that's right. We're talking about Joseph and how he saved the people from the famine. Well, a new king now has come to power in Egypt. A king who didn't know about Joseph, and he spoke to his people in alarm.
There are way too many of these Israelites for us to handle. We have to do something. Let's devise a plan to contain them, because if there's a war, they may join our enemies or just walk off and leave us.
So, that's what they did. They organized the Israelites into work gangs, and they put them to hard labor. And they built these huge storage cities of Pithom and Ramses for Pharaoh. But the harder the Egyptians worked them, the more children the Israelites had. There were children everywhere. The Egyptians got so they couldn't stand the Israelites, and they treated them worse than ever. They crushed them with slave labor, and they made them miserable with this hard labor. They made bricks, and they made mortar, and they did this back-breaking work in the fields. They piled on the work, crushing them under the cruel workload. Well, the king of Egypt had a talk with the two Hebrew midwives. One's name was Siphrah, and the other Puah. And he said,
Now, when you deliver the Hebrew women, look at the sex of the baby. If it's a boy, kill him. If it's a girl, let her live.
But the midwives had far too much respect for God, and they didn't do what the king of Egypt ordered. They let the boy babies live. So the king of Egypt called the midwives.
Why didn't you obey my orders? You let those babies live.
The Hebrew women aren't like the Egyptian women. They're vigorous. Before the midwife can get there, they've already had a baby.
Well, God was pleased with those midwives, and the people continued to increase in number because they were a very strong people. And because the midwives honored God, God gave them families of their own. So the king issued a general order to all his people.
Every baby that is born, that is a boy, drown him in the Nile, but let the girls live.
Now, a man from the family of Levi married a Levirate woman, And the woman became pregnant and she had a son. She saw there was something special about him, so she hid him for 3 months. And when she could hide him no longer, she got a little basket boat made of papyrus. She waterproofed it with tar and with pitch, and she placed the child in it, and then she set it afloat in the reeds at the edge of the Nile. The baby's older sister found herself a place to watch that was a little way off, and she watched to see what would happen to him. Now one day the king's daughter came down to the Nile to bathe, and her maiden strolled on the bank. She saw the basket boat floating in the reeds, and she sent her maid to get it. She opened it, she saw the child, and her heart broke when she heard him crying. This must be one of the Hebrew babies. And then Moses' sister came up.
Do you want me to go and get you a nursing mother from the Hebrews so she can nurse your baby for you?
Yes, go. So the girl named Miriam went, and she got her mother. Take this baby and nurse him. So the woman took the child and she nursed him, and after the child was weaned, she presented him back to the king's daughter, who adopted him as her son. And she named him Moses, which means pulled out, because she had pulled him out of the water. Thank you very much for